Hello and many greetings and blessings to you from wherever you're tuning in from. I've had a lot of people write to me lately and say, Crystal, I'm having trouble accepting myself, or my help or how do I feel really comfortable being myself, or I'm not myself around others. Wow. In my experience of many years now adding up, being a coach and serving as a guide and traveling to places like the Omega Institute, a lot of people are in a transition, and I meet all different ages, all different generations, whether it's 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s sometime, not even counting teens, they hit these points and maybe life has taken a big shift and they're just like, they're in one aspect, maybe not fully accepting of self. So I think this is a universal thing we have going on. Even if you got all your ducks in a row, there's probably one piece of you that's kind of pushed off to the side where, that's not quite up to par, or, I don't want to show people that. I'll just show them where I'm feeling good. There's other of us that just like to show people where we're broken, where we're feeling bad, and I'm like, all right. Wanted to give you a few tips in terms of accepting the self, no matter where you're at, if you've hit a high, if you've hit a low, just ways to play with that. So, we have to really go back to the roots of these things that taught us that who we are weren't enough, or not great enough, or not good enough, or not up to par, and really be like, was that the best authority I could have learned from? Most likely, probably not. Most of us don't know how to love ourselves unconditionally because we were never given unconditional love from the beginning. And that's okay. We don't need to go back to parent and childhood issues and things like that, but only to recognize it and go, sometimes we have a spark inside of us, and all of us have it. Some of us just love to, what makes us come alive is seeing architectural creations, and sometimes what makes us come alive is like really knowing like I love cars, right? And I love hanging around car guys. What makes them come alive is like, it's duh. What makes me come alive is not what makes my neighbors come alive. What makes me come alive isn't what makes my brother, come alive. It's different. It's different for all of us. Some people love to look at plants and figure out and watch their growth, and some people just love the thrill of getting better and better at a sport and like beating their time and doing this. And some people, what makes them come alive is like a new form of yarn that just came out on the market, right? But no matter what that is your spark, and that is one way to go back to really accepting yourself, is to go back and find that spark and be like, maybe my spark was taught to tune down as a kid, and now I want to tune it back up and get more in touch with that, and like let my heart be set ablaze by what is uniquely my passion, right? So one way to accept the self a little bit more is to find out what that passion is and dive in and go for it, right? Another way to accept the self is to look around and really see with clearer lenses. And what do I mean by this? Nobody's got it all together, and even if we do, we're all we ebb and flow. It's life, it's change. Look at nature, and one of our greatest teachers here ebbs and flows and grows and sheds and so if you're looking around and you're like, man, everybody's got this, they're way more, have this put together, or they're not suffering as much as I am. You know what? We don't know. And the fact that we don't know means that it's okay to leave that little window there that says, what if I am like others? And what if they're working on their stuff too? And what if instead of being around them and feeling like I need to shrink because I don't have my pieces together, or I'm broken and they don't know it, and just that feeling, no, stop. That's all bullshit. Excuse me, but it is, right? So part of accepting the self is knowing everybody's working on their stuff. I have days that I feel amazing and like wonderful and want to share. And then there's days when I'm just like, I don't have it together. You know what? It's okay. During those days, accepting the self means holding on to yourself really tight, putting yourself around things that love you, and really being that loving force to yourself until you remember again, until you step forth and be like, yeah, you know what, I don't want to be 85 years old and not accepting of myself. And believe me, I work with 80-year-olds who don't accept that. So this is a muscle for us to grow, right? Let me think of one more thing. One more last and final, accepting the self. One way to do it. For those of you out there that look around and hear criticism and feel pain and you just are, you don't feel like you want to shrink, put yourself around new environments. Find people that absolutely love and appreciate you. And this is the hard part. It's got to start with you first. So accepting the self means looking at yourself and being like, you know what? Why was I created in this body? Why do I have this life? And if you don't like it, then if you're in the body, learn to love it. You know what? There are so many of us that over-assume people that we think are beautiful really feel that on the inside. And let me tell you, they don't always. So wherever you are, I encourage you to look through the eyes of beauty to yourself, to others, to the flowers, to the earth. There's a lot of chaos going around, but if you can look through the eyes of beauty, that accepting of self becomes a lot easier. So there you have it. I love you. That's like 6 minutes and 20 seconds of just on and on and on of goodness for you. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know underneath. Write some comments below and throw some other ideas out there. How do you accept the self? During your moments of highs and lows, what do you remember? Share some thoughts for others, because we're always looking for answers and it's really important for us to keep exchanging. So I love you. There's 3 tips. I've got plenty more to go. Tune into crystalcubist.com. I'm posting other videos up there. And yeah, I love you all. Beautiful, beautiful blessings. I wish you a fabulous, fabulous day. Reach out if you need anything.